Pixar would never make a horror movie, so I decided to do it for them. So I picked Finding Nemo and Inside Out to turn into horror. Let's start with Finding Nemo. I took this original scene where Marlin is in one of those things that they call their homes, and then I extended the entire image using generative fill, so I had the full poster to work with. But Marlin had to go because, yeah, he's not making it in this movie. After that, I uploaded the image and added a moonlight LUT to immediately kill the happy Pixar look. And at this point, it already looked darker, but Nemo was still smiling, which is a problem, unless he's psycho, which he isn't. So I used Nano Banana Pro to generate a terrified expression. The first result was not that good, but it'll come in handy later. I tried again with a different prompt, but this time I got a mouth that actually worked. I took just the mouth, erased the edges, and blended it manually into Nemo's face. Here's where that failed generation comes in handy. As reference, I painted in extra wrinkles and muscle tension around the mouth and cheeks so the scared expression actually felt believable. And then I darkened Nemo with an exposure layer and masked the light back in. I kept pushing the highlights until his face finally felt three-dimensional and felt cohesive in the overall scene. To ground him in the scene, I needed a shadow, so I duplicated his selection, filled it with black, warped it with puppet warp, and dropped the opacity. Now, he actually belonged there, but something still felt off. It was dark, but not disturbing, so I thought, what makes this instantly more horrifying? Drum rolls, please? You guessed it, Stranger Things. Oh. And Dory. I added these vines, which you will probably recognize if you have seen the show. I blended them into the background, color corrected them, and added highlights so they felt like they were lit from above. Then I added dirt because it looked way too clean for a horror poster. Now, I created a grid using the rule of thirds, shifted Nemo to the left and moved Dory slightly to the right, but it still needed a thread. But before we work on that, let's make sure Dory isn't just hanging there and paint some vines that hold her up. So I took the shark from the original poster, masked out his shape, filled it with black, and dropped the opacity. There was still something missing, so I added battle scars to Nemo and Dory. After that, I thought the poster was almost done, so I added a camera raw filter for the finishing touches. And that's basically it. Finding Nemo, but horror. Like this video if you don't want to be eaten by a shark. Thank you. Anyways, next up is Inside Out. First, I generated a bathroom scene, a higher quality image of Fear, and an image of Riley because I couldn't find a back view image of her. I guess AI image generation can be useful after all. I cut Riley out and removed the reflection and added a shadow behind her. The idea here is simple. She looks in the mirror and she sees something else. Then I masked Fear into the mirror so he only exists in the reflection. I removed his teeth and stripped his eyes down to just white. I know, it sounds like I'm the evil one, but hold up, he's getting it all back. I duplicated his eyebrows and used puppet warp to reshape them. Then I started rebuilding the eyes. I raised the bottom eyelid so he had this unhinged psycho look. Fear is purple in the movie, but I thought it was cool to make him dark gray, so I repainted him. Then I added new teeth. I masked out one, but it looked kinda bad, so I refined it with the clone stamp tool until it actually looked real. After duplicating the teeth, he finally looked dangerous. Then I added blood, eye veins, and wrinkles. I masked in red eyes and positioned them under the eyelids to make it look even more psycho. And then I added a glow, and as you know, with glows come highlights. Then I used the texture reference to make his skin look dead, and I blended it in with Blend If. I briefly tried adding blood spelling help in the background, but it pulled attention away from Fear's face, so I killed that idea. Instead, I destroyed the room. Mwahahahaha. Damn, that was bad. I added cracks to the wall and found a balance where it actually looked something was slowly growing through the space. The color still felt too Pixar-ish, so I added sick greens and yellows using color balance, the typical colors you see in those abandoned hospitals. I applied the same treatment to the characters and finished it off with a camera raw filter. Honestly, that sounded more sus than it should have. Anyways, Riley still didn't match, so I darkened her, masked the light back in, and added contact shadows to her hands on the sink. From here, the image was done. This will probably sound stupid, but the hardest part was the logo and the text placement. I tried multiple placement, but honestly, every single one felt wrong. Eventually, I blended the logo directly into the wall using Blend If, aligned everything with a grid, and then I stopped. And that's Inside Out if Pixar completely lost their minds. Let me know in the comments which poster you think is more horrific. And if you enjoyed this, here's another video that you might like.